Alamo.alaykum. Welcome back to our channel, Digital Future AI School. Kindly subscribe our channel, like and share with friends. And this is the episode 11 and chapter 11 of Book AI, Your Smartest Partner in Life and Work, written by Mr. Zahir Ahmad Mir. Today, we are diving deep into what I think is one of the biggest seismic shifts in the professional world. We're talking about how artificial intelligence has completely revolutionized digital content creation. It's basically collapsing entire industries into a single workflow.
It really is. I mean, if you think about it, the core challenge for professionals, it always used to be execution.
The manual work.
Exactly. The manual labor of actually building something, designing it, writing the code. Now AI has essentially taken over that entire execution layer.
And we're not talking about a small improvement here. We're talking about tasks that just a few years ago would have needed a whole team of experts.
A complex team. And weeks, maybe even months of back and forth.
Not to mention the budget.
A significant budget, absolutely. And now all of that is being compressed into the span of, a few minutes. It's incredible.
Okay, let's unpack that because the sheer scale of what you're describing, the efficiency, it's radical. Historically, if you, our listener, needed a professional website or a really killer slide deck for a big meeting,
or even just brand guidelines.
Right, you had to go out and coordinate a graphic designer, a coder, a UI UX expert, and definitely a content writer. That whole system was just so slow.
And expensive, and just, riddled with potential points of failure. The designer doesn't understand the writer's brief, the coder can't implement the design.
It was a mess.
And that whole reality, it acted as this huge barrier to entry. If you were a small business or, say, a solo entrepreneur, that level of professionalism often felt completely out of reach.
So our mission today is really to extract the exact mechanisms, the tools, and the workflows from our source material. We want to show how AI can serve as a full creative partner for anyone.
Absolutely. Whether you're a student working on a project, a CEO planning a launch, an attorney needing a professional presence.
Or even a designer who just wants to scale their own output.
That's it. The most profound thing here is the shocking contrast. The demand for professional quality today is higher than it's ever been, but the barrier to achieving that quality has just vanish.
It's completely evaporated. AI isn't just, automating a few tasks here and there. It's making it's making you capable of synthesizing the roles of an entire digital creative agency.
All from a single prompt.
Just by articulating a clear instruction. So we really need to dissect exactly how AI manages to take over this entire traditional creative structure.
Well, if you look closely at the data we analyzed, the whole structure of digital creation has flipped on its head.
Flipped how?
The old way was all about specialized silos. You had one person for coding over here, another for layout, someone else for writing.
And none of them talked to each other until the last minute.
Pretty much. The new reality, the one powered by AI, is completely integrated. AI functions as a singular, comprehensive, creative studio that's available instantly. It's a full-stack resource.
That integrated approach has to be the key differentiator. It explains why the whole process is so incredibly fast.
Exactly. The AI multitasker isn't, waiting for a brief from the content writer before it starts talking to the coder.
It's doing all at once.
Simultaneously. It's generating the layouts, the images, the foundational text, all at the same time, which ensures everything is perfectly aligned right from the very start.
That's just, from a traditional project management perspective, that's insane.
It is. And let's get into the full scope of what this AI studio can provide, pulling directly from the examples in the book. It starts with the visual elements.
Okay.
AI isn't just grabbing some generic stock image. It's creating bespoke imagery. It's designing specific icons that are tailored to your project's message, and it's building entire cohesive color themes.
You get instant visual consistency.
Instant, professional visual consistency. Something that used to require meticulous work from a branding specialist, back and forth, for weeks.
And then, crucially, it also handles the structural and the technical heavy lifting, right?
Right. After it establishes that visual theme, it moves into designing complex layouts, generating all the necessary code for functionality, HTML, CSS, even more complex APIs.
And it even handles the final step, which is often the most annoying one.
The publishing. It handles the final, often cumbersome step of publishing the full website or exporting the final design package in whatever professional format you need.
And it's not just static assets, is it? The source material makes a big point about moving content.
That's a huge piece of it. The capabilities extend far beyond static digital assets. The AI is incredibly proficient at creating moving content. We're talking about generating videos, assembling short animations, and preparing professional, polished slide decks.
So effectively, this one tool covers every major type of digital asset a modern professional needs for communication, for marketing, for internal operations.
Everything.
Yeah.
And the meta-level function that people often overlook is that it's generating a complete digital identity.
It's not just a random collection of assets.
Not at all. It's a cohesive brand presence. The AI can ensure consistency in tone, in visual grammar, in messaging across a website, a presentation, and a social media campaign instantly.
The foundational implication of this, for anyone listening, has to be the sheer accessibility.
That's the core of it. This AI Creative Studio is available 24/7. And critically, the cost is transformative. For startups and small businesses who used to face these prohibitive capital expenses just to look professional,
This just levels the playing field.
it completely levels the playing field against much larger competitors.
Which brings us to this idea you hear a lot, the 10x creator thesis. What does 10x really mean in this context? It's not just about producing 10 times more slides, is it?
No, not at all. It means the value of your output multiplies exponentially, precisely because the time investment has dropped to almost zero.
So it's about shifting human energy.
It's entirely about shifting human energy. If a traditional creative pipeline took, say, 90% of your time on manual execution, coding, adjusting margins, resizing images, drafting text,
All the tedious stuff.
all the tedious stuff, and only 10% was left for high-level strategy and vision, AI completely reverses that. You are now spending 90% of your time on strategic thinking, on refining the prompt, on assessing the market fit.
And maybe 10% just overseeing the automated execution.
Exactly. The source material is very clear about the liberation that comes from this. You no longer need a design degree. You don't need complex coding skills or mastery of expensive software. You don't need large teams.
The resource allocation shifts entirely. It's no longer about labor costs. It's about your intellectual capital.
And that speed and productivity, it translates directly into a measurable competitive advantage. Think about it. If a traditional company spends 6 weeks planning, designing, and launching one marketing campaign,
And you, using AI, can iterate through 5 different highly polished campaigns in that same period.
you're learning 5 times faster, you're adapting 5 times faster, you're winning in the market 5 times faster.
So the competitive landscape is now defined by who can articulate the best strategy to the machine.
That's it. It's not about who can manually implement the strategy fastest anymore.
So the very definition of skill has fundamentally changed. Your skill is no longer your ability to master a manual tool like Photoshop or a code editor. Your skill is now your ability to articulate a clear, concise, and strategic instruction.
The input prompts.
The power has shifted entirely from the person operating the software to the mind defining the ultimate goal.
Let's move into the most direct application of this creative shift, which is instant website building.
Okay, this is the one I think blows most people's minds.
It really does. The promise here is just profound, taking a concept from a simple natural language instruction, like something you'd write in an email,
And turning that into a fully deployed, live, working website.
almost instantaneously. The technology behind it relies on these automated design generators that can interpret the semantic meaning of your words and convert it directly into clean, functional code.
And the exciting part is that this isn't some far-off theoretical thing anymore. We're talking about major mainstream platforms that have adopted this.
Right. Tools like Bolt, Wix AI, Framer AI, Durable, even integrated services within Notion.
And these platforms aren't just, slapping together some old templates, are they?
No, that's the key. They are using AI to interpret the user's explicit and implicit needs. The result is a bespoke digital solution that looks and feels professionally custom-made.
When we do a deep dive into the functionality, what does the AI actually handle? What's the life cycle of the production?
It handles the entire life cycle. It begins with the aesthetics and the structure. So it's designing optimal layouts based on industry best practices, and it's creating logical, user-friendly navigation paths.
But a huge problem is always content. What does it do for that?
That's the magic. It fills the site with meaningful, contextual content. It generates relevant imagery, icons, and it writes all the necessary copy based solely on your initial business description.
But the real time saver, for me, has to be the integration and optimization features. That used to be a whole separate, highly technical job.
It did. We're talking about full SEO optimization. The AI automatically injects relevant keywords. It structures the headings, the H1s, the H2s correctly. It sets up all the metadata. It basically makes sure the site is perfectly structured for search engine crawlers from the moment it goes live.
And it handles the operational stuff too, like forms.
Absolutely. It builds the necessary operational components, like inquiry forms for new leads, lead capture mechanisms, and it can integrate with other business tools. The goal is the instant deployment of a functional, optimized site, not just a pretty brochure.
Let's use that powerful example from the source material to make this really tangible for everyone.
Okay, the prompt was, create a professional website for a law firm in Lahore with sections for out, services, contact, and case studies.
I love this prompt because it's so strategically rich. It specifies a niche business, a law firm, a specific geographic and cultural context, Lahore, and specific structural needs.
It's a great test case.
But here's the challenge. If AI is so fast, how does it avoid that generic AI template look, especially in a high-stakes sector like law, where trust is everything? How does it inject originality?
That's where the sophistication of the models really comes into play. The AI doesn't just slap down generic text and images. It recognizes the need for trust and authority that's inherent in a law firm.
So it adapts the design language.
It adapts completely. It uses appropriate design conventions, often more conservative color palettes, clean typography, a very formal tone. When it sees the word Lahore, it understands the regional context. It might tailor the visual identity or integrate local communication methods seamlessly.
So the result is a full site designed, written, coded, that looks like it took weeks of specialized consultation with a local agency.
Exactly. For a professional whose time is extremely valuable, like an attorney, this speed advantage is just indispensable. They need a high-trust digital presence, but they can't justify spending 40 hours of their billable time coordinating a development team.
Now they can spend maybe 20 minutes refining an already functional professional site that was generated from a single sentence.
Let's break down the individual assets that AI generates within that website because the depth of the detail is what creates that professional quality.
Good idea.
It starts with the most critical part of any site,
Hmm.
the hero section, your first impression.
Right, the bit at the very top.
The AI generates the perfect benefit-driven headline, a concise subheadline, a clear call to action or CTA that's optimized for conversion, and an appropriate high-resolution banner visual. All of it is instantly tailored to the law firm's needed gravitas.
And then you move into the foundational content, the trust-building stuff.
And it doesn't rely on filler copy. It drafts the entire company description, including the mission, the values, the history, the key selling points. It ensures the language isn't just grammatically perfect, but that it aligns with the required professional and legal tone.
It avoids being too casual, which would just undermine their authority.
Precisely. Now consider the services pages. For a lawyer or a consultant, these pages can be really complex. They require detailed breakdowns of specialized services.
Sure, like family law, corporate law, etc.
AI can generate those individual service listings, ensuring clarity, legal sensitivity, and covering all the necessary information points. It often synthesizes industry standards without the client needing to supply pages of text themselves.
And the functionality is where the site becomes a real tool, not just a digital brochure.
That's where it comes alive. The AI automatically builds critical operational components, inquiry forms for new clients, appointment booking widgets that can be integrated into a calendar.
And modern tools, like WhatsApp integration, I imagine.
Exactly. For instant client communication. It's a seamless blend of aesthetic design and pure operational utility.
What about the long-term value for organic growth?
That's the content pipeline. For the blog and article pages, the AI doesn't just create a blank structure. It can support automatic article generation on relevant legal topics, full SEO optimization for long-tail keywords, and even keyword planning to attract organic traffic.
So the firm can instantly launch a robust content strategy. They can move way beyond a static brochure and establish themselves as a thought leader in their region.
Right. And finally, the brand integration. This is the glue that makes it all look like an expensive agency did the work.
So, colors, fonts.
The full package. Alongside the site structure, AI generates a coherent color palette, professional font pairings suitable for a high-trust environment, style guidelines, and a whole library of integrated icons and graphics.
The result is a unified digital identity. It's not a Frankenstein collection of different elements.
That's it. This deep level of automated detail proves that AI truly acts as an entire agency, ensuring quality is baked into every single component from the start.
Okay, so shifting gears a bit from full websites, let's focus on standalone professional design assets.
This is where AI democratization really shines. It's removing the dependency on highly specialized graphic designers for everyday tasks.
And the source material highlights some huge names here. Canva AI, Adobe Firefly, Midjourney, DALE, Figma AI. These have gone from being novelties to industry-standard tools in what feels like months.
It's been incredibly fast, and what's fascinating is the sheer breadth of the output. They can produce every level of marketing collateral you can imagine.
Like what, specifically?
High-resolution logos, customized business cards, large format posters and banners, book covers that genuinely compete with major publishers, unique social media graphics for every platform.
And even highly technical assets, right? Like UI/UX mock-ups for new apps.
Detailed UI/UX mockups. The central takeaway here is that AI removes the friction between an abstract concept in your head and a finished, high-quality design file.
So a small business owner who needs professional packaging or an author needing a compelling book cover.
They can articulate their vision and within seconds have multiple visual mockups ready to review and send to production. It saves a massive amount of time and capital.
Let's walk the listener through that iterative process. The book calls it the 5-step AI design workflow, because it's not just a single click and you're done, is it? It's about control and refinement.
No, you're in the driver's seat. Step 1 is foundational. Describe what you want. Clarity is everything. The example given is great. Create a book cover for a leadership book in navy blue and gold with a minimalist, professional feel.
So you're setting the constraints right away. The topic, the color, the mood.
Precisely. Then step 2 is where you add advanced stylistic control. Provide examples or context. This is how you refine the AI's output beyond the obvious.
So you might say,
Make it similar to a New York Times best-selling nonfiction cover, emphasizing clean lines and abstract symbolism. You're giving the AI vital context about the genre, the audience's expectation, and the required quality level. You're guiding its aesthetic.
then step 3, the critical feedback loop. Fine-tune.
Right. Once you have the initial results, you edit the specifics. You might prompt it. Increase the metallic sheen on the gold elements. Change the font to a thicker serif style. Add a subtitle that is slightly smaller.
And this refinement cycle is instant. You're not waiting days for a designer to get back to you with V2.
Not at all. Which leads to step 4, where the AI really expands your creative possibilities. Generate variations.
Instead of just settling for the first good option.
Exactly. You can explore entirely different creative avenues. You could say, show me alternatives in a modern sans serif font, or try an option that uses Islamic geometric patterns to convey structure.
So you can quickly test concepts you might not have even considered at the start. It really expands the creative scope.
It does. And finally, step 5 is finalize and export. The AI produces ready-to-download high-resolution files suitable for professional printing or digital distribution. The whole journey from a vague idea to a production-ready design can be compressed into just a few minutes.
It's a fundamental change in creative turnaround time. Now, let's pivot to another area of high-stakes communication. Presentations.
The corporate slide deck.
Yes.
Yeah.
AI has become the corporate design agency replacement for slide decks. I mean, nobody working on a strategic pitch or an internal report should be spending hours manually fiddling with alignment and charts anymore.
Not when tools like PowerPoint Designer, Beautiful.ai, Gamma AI, and Tome AI exist. Presentations are so often the public face of your strategy or your research. They have to look polished and persuasive.
And these AI generators handle the whole process.
The entire process, automatically. The output includes a fully structured presentation narrative, professionally designed and themed slide templates, automatic speaker notes,
And the really time-consuming part, data visualization.
the most important part. Complex data visualizations, infographics, charts, and diagrams are generated directly from your raw data inputs. No more messing around in Excel and pasting screenshots.
Let's use that powerful example from the source material to really grasp the level of strategic depth here. The prompt was, create a 20-slide presentation on Pakistan's economic future in the AI era.
Which is a massive, complex topic. It requires geopolitical awareness, economic projection, technological foresight. It's not a simple request.
So what did the AI do with that? It can't just create empty placeholders.
It doesn't. It takes that high-level strategic prompt and it structures the entire narrative arc of the presentation. It automatically generates a compelling title slide, a logical agenda, and the necessary data charts and bullet points based on its vast synthesized knowledge base.
So it's actually generating the content as well.
It's generating the content. It selects professional, relevant visuals, it drafts a comprehensive summary slide, and critically, it generates specific, actionable recommendations tailored to the context.
The power isn't just the speed then. It's the consistency of the quality.
That's what the sources emphasize. The result looks like it was created by a high-end corporate design agency. The visual grammar, the layout, the color scheme, it all communicates competence and authority.
So it frees the presenter entirely from the distraction of visual execution.
Completely. You can focus purely on mastering the content and the delivery. This instant corporate-level output makes AI absolutely indispensable for any high-stakes communication. And we need to look beyond just the individual assets and focus on the whole architecture of a digital identity, the process of branding.
Right, which used to be this arduous, costly, multi-phase project.
It involved extensive stakeholder interviews, market research. It could cost tens of thousands of dollars just to define the core essence of a brand. AI has now completely democratized that identity creation process.
For new startups, freelancers, or even established professionals looking for a refresh, this capability must be revolutionary.
It is. The AI can create the entire cohesive suite of necessary assets instantly. We're talking brand logos that are legally differentiable, typography that conveys the appropriate tone, established color palettes, and usage rules.
And the core verbal identity as well.
The verbal identity is key. Compelling taglines, concise mission statements, and a robust brand philosophy, all generated for you to refine.
And it extends into practical application, like generating visual guidelines and marketing templates for social media.
So this instant unified package ensures that every single piece of content the brand creates from day one speaks with a cohesive voice and look.
Which accelerates the time to market for new ventures dramatically. It minimizes that risk of inconsistent messaging that plagues so many young companies.
And building on that established brand identity, we can transition to the production of ongoing content, the engine that keeps any digital presence relevant. AI has truly become a complete content factory.
It can supply that continuous stream of high-quality material that modern marketing demands.
And the range of professional text AI can generate is exhaustive. It's not just, a few social media posts.
What are we talking about?
Detailed website copy, specialized ad copy that's tailored for specific platforms like Google Ads or Facebook, detailed product listings for large-scale e-commerce, long-form SEO-optimized blog articles, engaging newsletters, professional brochures, even internal policy documents and financial reports.
This highlights the difference between just basic text generation and a sophisticated professional application. The goal is text that is polished, contextually appropriate, and, actionable.
Exactly. Take the concrete content prompt from the book. Write a homepage description for a tax consultancy firm in Lahore.
There's a lot of complexity built into that request.
Immense complexity. It needs to convey trustworthiness and legal compliance. It needs to demonstrate regional relevance, that Lahore context. And it needs to clearly articulate the firm's specialized services and unique value proposition.
And AI produces this professional text instantly. It saves the firm from commissioning expensive, slow copywriting services and gets them to the point where they can start converting visitors into clients much faster.
And that content factory also includes the increasingly dominant realm of moving images, video. The role of AI in video production and editing is expanding so rapidly. It's just dissolving the high-friction nature of video creation that used to stall so many content plans.
The sources list some specific capabilities that streamline the whole workflow.
They do. AI can generate complex videos from simple text prompts. It can edit existing raw footage based on a desired narrative flow, add high-quality timed subtitles automatically.
Which is a huge time saver.
A massive one. It can create complex motion graphics and branded animations, remove background noise from poor recordings, and even auto-cut clips to optimize the pacing for platforms like YouTube or TikTok.
And we're seeing dedicated tools for this now, like Runway ML, Adobe Premiere's AI integrations, Pika Labs, and Descript.
These tools are taking over tasks that previously demanded specific expertise, hours of manual work, and very expensive hardware.
So the implication is that the barrier to complex content, from a simple animated explainer video to full-scale digital filmmaking, is just gone.
It's fundamentally gone. Anyone with a concept can now produce broadcast quality video.
Finally, we have to address the ultimate technical frontier, code and software development.
For decades, needing to know specialized programming languages was the highest barrier to creating complex digital tools.
Right.
AI is systematically dismantling this. It's allowing even non-programmers to conceptualize and build functional software.
This is arguably the most transformative capability for any entrepreneurial listeners out there.
I think so. AI can write the foundational languages HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and more advanced server-side scripts like Python. It can handle back-end infrastructure, building APIs, designing robust databases, and generating sophisticated front-end tools like dynamic dashboards.
And it excels at the tedious stuff that consumes so much developer time.
Right, the necessary but tedious tasks. Automating complex workflows, generating clean documentation, and crucially, debugging software instantly.
So tools like GitHub Copilot and Framer AI are turning what, a sketch on a napkin or a natural language request?
Into a full functioning code base. This means the entrepreneur who lacks programming skills can now rapidly prototype, test, and even deploy a minimum viable product, an MVP, or an internal tool in a fraction of the traditional time. The need for a dedicated internal development team for those early stage tools is often just negated.
Okay, so we've dissected all the individual components, websites, design, presentations, branding, content, and code.
Mhm.
Now let's synthesize all of this. Let's put it into a singular overarching process.
The idea to execution AI workflow.
Exactly. The goal is to give you, the listener, a comprehensive map of what the source material calls the fastest workflow in digital history.
This 7-step workflow is the ultimate guide for efficiency. It illustrates how AI supports the creative process right from the moment of conception to the final deliverable.
So step one is concept generation.
Right, the brainstorming phase, but supercharged by AI. Instead of staring at a blank page, the AI can brainstorm styles, themes, formats, even target audience messaging for you instantly. It gives you a strong strategic foundation and prevents that creative paralysis.
Then step two is structure and logic.
Once the concept is defined, the AI outlines all the necessary logistical components. The optimal number of pages for a website, the sections for a long document, the slide progression for a presentation, or the functional components for a piece of software. It removes that logistical headache.
Step three is the core articulation, content writing.
The AI takes that established structure and just fills it with clear, professional, optimized text. It ensures the copy is tailored for the specific medium and audience.
Step four introduces the visual language, design and visuals.
Based on the content and structure, the AI generates all the required custom graphics, high-res images, corporate logos, UI layouts, ensuring instant aesthetic alignment with the strategic intent.
Step five is the physical manifestation, coding and building.
This is where the AI automatically translates all those design components into the necessary working infrastructure. It writes the code, builds the functional pages, constructs the dashboards. It makes the concept tangible and usable.
Step six is deployment and distribution, getting it out into the world.
The crucial final step. The AI can manage publishing the website instantly, exporting high-res documents for printing, or distributing the functional code. It eliminates that cumbersome manual handoff between all the different teams.
And finally, step seven, refinement and iteration.
This is where the human judgment is still critical. Based on your initial testing, your feedback, your performance data, your critical assessment, the AI rapidly adapts. It edits, expands, corrects the content, restructures the design. This capacity for rapid iteration ensures the final product is not only fast, but also highly optimized.
So this entire sequence is so important because it just fundamentally eliminates the need to switch between dozens of different expert tools and coordinate multiple human specialists.
It establishes a seamless, integrated flow where the strategic idea is continually shaped and executed by a single smart partner.
And that efficiency circles right back to the final conclusion from the source material, the new professional identity. By mastering and leveraging this idea-to-execution workflow, AI transforms a single individual into a complete creative powerhouse.
Think about all the professional hats you can now wear simultaneously with high competence. You become a corporate-level designer creating visuals that meet the highest industry standards.
You become a functional developer, generating clean, working code.
A high-volume content creator producing polished copy optimized for every channel, and a sharp marketer handling SEO and keyword planning automatically.
You're also the strategic director, defining the brand identity, and the communication expert, creating high-stakes presentations instantly.
This comprehensive, integrated expertise is exactly why organizations, governments, businesses, and individuals worldwide are adopting these tools so rapidly. They provide the entire skill set instantly, without all the organizational overhead. So, to summarize this really extensive deep dive, we've meticulously explored how AI has just radically streamlined and professionalized the creation process across all the major digital domains.
High-quality websites that can deploy in minutes.
Iterative, complex design work for logos and UI mockups.
The instant generation of polished corporate-level presentation decks.
And the instant democratization of branding identity and the full content and code pipeline generating professional text and functional software.
The primary unifying benefit, whether you are a student launching a project or a CEO directing strategy, is the ability to create and execute at a consistently expert level.
This capability instantly eliminates the traditional friction, the cost, and the time commitment that used to be associated with professional digital output. This new standard of productivity is now defining the competitive landscape.
And as the source material indicates, the journey of AI as our partner doesn't stop with professional creation.
No, in the next chapter of this book, we're going to transition our focus to how AI continues to enrich and enhance our daily lives. We'll be delving into its role in personal planning, enhanced learning, supporting health and wellness, improving complex decision-making.
And fundamentally shaping the way we work, learn, and grow as individuals in this modern world.
The barriers to execution are gone. The time you previously spent struggling with alignment or debugging code or agonizing over a visual layout is now entirely reclaimed.
So we'll leave you with this provocative closing thought to mull over. If AI now handles the building and all of the tedious technical execution, what new, high-level, strategic, and profoundly human tasks are you finally freed up to focus on?
The critical question is no longer if you should leverage AI to build, but what magnificent new complex problem will you dedicate your reclaimed strategic energy to, now that the barrier to professional creation has vanished entirely?